There's a very interesting thing going on with gold right now. I spoke about the other day on Usual Suspects, and then I saw that this guy right here, Matt Smith, gave a great breakdown of what's happening. He says, "Buckle up." Wait, by the way, I should show the price of gold right now to give context. Price of gold. All right, so let me show this quick. So gold is ripping higher, all right? We all see that. Okay. It's ripping higher. It's at like almost 3,000 an ounce. Now let's go back. Buckle up. There's a massive move happening in the gold market that almost nobody's talking about. Huge physical deliveries, shortages in London, gold flowing into the US at record levels. Someone with deep pockets is scooping up gold like the US Treasury or the Fed. Why? The theory, they're preparing for a full-on gold audit, meaning they're reshoring gold that they might have leased out. Once audited, that gold could form the backbone of a new monetary system. This could signal a seismic shift in the dollar's status and value. The end game, a major devaluation of the US dollar to reset America's global competitiveness. Think back to 1971, Nixon shutting down the gold window, or 1985, the Plaza Accord. This time it might be even bigger. Call it the Mar-a-Lago Accord. Tariffs are key. They aren't just about steel, aluminum, or stopping fentanyl. They're the cudgel to force other countries to accept new currency regime. The U.S. wants to drive down the dollar's value versus the yuan, euro, yen, etc., to boost exports and domestic industry. Yeah, see, things get really counterintuitive when you get real macro. Meanwhile, the Trump team is talking up sovereign wealth fund. This means turning America's natural resources, mineral rights, and strategic assets into equity. Suddenly, the U.S. balance sheet doesn't look so terrible, especially with the fact that gold is priced at what, $42 an ounce on the U.S. balance sheet when it's $3,000 an ounce. I'm sure he probably gets into that. Suddenly, the U.S. balance sheet looks so terrible, but watch for inflation because that's the plan too. Inflation crushes current debts, government and private, but it also punishes everyday people with higher prices. The bet is wages will rise too, thanks to new industrial policies like forcing profits to be reinvested in the US, a nod to China's model, ironically. If it goes right, we end with a gold backed, partially gold or partially gold backed currency, new capital markets, and a two-tier dollar, domestic versus international. The Fed could even get scrapped, replaced by something like stablecoin tech, but with gold in the vaults. Wild, right? That stablecoin tech, I'd imagine it'd be something like XRP or Cardano. Definitely not Bitcoin. This is either a brilliant adult solution to an unsustainable debt spiral or a step towards a heavily managed non-free market system, possibly both. Either way, the message, quote, something must change or the whole thing breaks. So they're doing it. If you're a regular person, holding physical gold is the hedge against a collapsing dollar. Expect big changes in trade, currency rules, and prices for everything. The move could be fast. The 70s had staggering inflation. This time might be more dramatic. Bottom line, prepare for a major monetary reset, one that's orchestrated, they hope, rather than chaotic. These aren't half baked theories. Mm-mm. You can see it all in the gold flows. Trump's policy picks the talk of a sovereign wealth fund and a looming forced revaluation. Stay alert, keep an eye on gold tariffs and rumblings about auditing U.S. reserves. Inflation is coming by design. The old system is toast. Time for what might be the biggest economic shakeup since 1971. Ignore it at your own risk. Some sources to help you understand the plan. A user's a user's guide to restructuring the global trading system by Stephen Miron, Trump economic advisor. Interesting. October interview with Howard Lutnick, Trump Commerce Secretary nominee, time stamped to expiring. How? Yep. Okay. Mm-mm. Gold price needed to back each country's monetary aggregates in USD. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Hmm. All right. So some I'm gonna take more of a look at this, but that is interesting stuff, is it not? Something's definitely happening because they don't normally let the gold prices get up this high. They do not like when that happens, but something is definitely happening. Let's see. Got anything else that's crazy that we gotta hit today? Let's do one more. Let's end on a positive note. I mean, I think that's a positive note, but let's on a real positive note. Auditing the IRS, baby.
Those workers arrived today, Gavin Clagger and others arrived today at the IRS. Do you expect to close the IRS, or what are you expecting?
No, I don't expect it, but,
ERS.
but I think that the Internal Revenue Service will be looked at like everybody else. Just about everybody's going to be looked at. So it's, they're doing a hell of a job. It's an amazing job they're doing. And you know, that force is building these, I call it the force of super geniuses, but it's building. And, you know, they go up and they talk to some of the people about certain deals and the people get all tongue tied. They can't talk because these people get it. They're very smart people. We need smart people. Yes.
Those workers arrived today, Gavin Clagger.
Let's see. What do we want to look up? IRS budgets by year. Operating costs have gone from 14 to 16, not that big. Not that big of a jump, but this is a totally like should be illegal organization. Freaking Woodrow Wilson. It's the IRS Act. Yeah, you got all these people that say like, "Oh, I swear I haven't paid taxes in years. It's actually illegal for the government to collect taxes." We gotta look into that one of these days. Um, when did taxes become legal? On February 25th, 1913, the 16th Amendment officially became part of the Constitution, granting Congress constitutional authority to levy taxes on corporate and individual income. Not legal before that. It's not an old thing, guys. It's not an old freaking thing. It's not a freaking old thing. So why do I click on 1776 takes me to 1913? Like we revolted over a freaking 3% T tax, and look where we are now. Tax rate by year. I hate when it's like this instead of give me a chart. Give me a freaking chart. All right, here we go. Yeah, look how wild it got under FTR. Ugh, ugh. It was 80 freaking percent during World War One. Got to 94% during World War Two. It was 69% when Reagan became president. What the fuck? And watch. Oh, I got you on the wrong page. Look at that. 69% when Reagan became president. And watch this, ready? Government revenue correlated with taxes. I'm pretty sure the government revenue has always gone down when taxes have gone up. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Best possible chart ever. Oh, to show that raising taxes does not raise government revenue. Boom. Look at that. So you drop the tax rate, government revenue skyrockets, right? So and it's like steadily increased just by them going under the 50% number, right? So imagine what the growth would be like if you could get this down to, oh, I don't know, 10, 15, maybe even 20% to start at first. It's at 35 right now. That'd be, let's see, it's at 35 right now. You cut it by half, that'd be what? 17, call it 17% taxes. That'd be about 2.5 trillion out of the federal budget. So we have to make up for that with either tariffs or using our assets. So we have $3.4 trillion worth of imports into the country each year, which we haven't put any tariffs on. We make like 80 billion on 80 billion on 3 trillion of imports, 3.4 trillion. So if we did a 50% tariff on everybody, which we're not going to do, we're going to do the reciprocals. If we did a 50% tariff on everybody, that'd bring us up to like 1.7 trillion already from that, right? And then find some other creative ways to make it. Oh, and then cut a shit ton of the spending because of what Doge is finding. We could get to a place where we could realistically cut our tax rate down to 20, 15%. That happens. Magical things would happen with growth. Magical things. Magical things.
If you enjoyed the short clip, click right here to watch the full episode. And remember to subscribe to the channel. God bless.